Hey guys, welcome to another installment of Kavalden's Comic Review. Tonight we're going to look at three comics. Tonight we're going to look at Batman Streets of Gotham number 19. We're going to look at the new series starting with of Marvel with Wolverine and Jubilee number 1. And we're going to see how things work out for Deadpool when Cable makes his appearance in Deadpool Max number 4. So let's get into with Streets of Gotham. Like I said, I've always enjoyed this series. Stories are always mixed in with different things, so it's a little hard to keep track. But, you know, it does bring a good thing. Mostly enough, I would say this issue is mostly dealing with the past, somewhat. Mostly dealing with the Joker is one of the main past stories involved with it. Considering enough that we see how the Joker originally was starting out and truly see where the Joker finally got to the point where he became let's see here. What's the word I'm looking for? Truly the evil clown prince of crime as we know him. Mostly enough, we also see a little bit of a brief moment with Batman and talking about his father in the old days. But that's pretty much. The story is very dark. I mean, I think I like the artistry in it as well. The cover, I have to say, is nice. DC's been doing this a lot with a lot of their comics where it's just been a plain white comic with just a single image on it. And I think I like it. They've done it with a lot of the new issues that they've been producing, and I like this. So we'll see how things go with that. So moving on with Wolverine and Jubilee. This is a brand new comic that just came out. It's also, I think... it's continuing somewhat the storyline with the vampires and versus mutants sort of way. Considering enough, I guess you could say if you were a fan of the old original, the X-Men cartoon, you always knew that Jubilee and Wolverine were always mostly together on a couple of episodes, sort of like a little tag-along sort of things. This one's a little bit different than normal. At first, Jubilee was bitten by a vampire and got turned into one. So basically, she's adapting. It hasn't been quite easy for her. Since losing her mutant powers because of M-Day and then becoming a vampire, it hasn't exactly been a win-win situation for her. Luckily enough, Logan's healing factor through his blood has been able to sustain her and try to keep her in control. But it hasn't been easy because everyone still knows that she's a vampire. And sooner or later, she could just turn on them instantly. So it hasn't been quite easy. She's learning to accept what she is, but also hates it. But she also hates the fact that she's dealing with other issues as well. So basically, I guess what they're planning to do with this series is mostly see how Wolverine tries to help Jubilee deal with her being a vampire and go on for that. It's only a 4-part-ish series, so we'll see how things turn out with this. Now let's get on to Deadpool Max. Boy. I gotta say, Deadpool's really not in this book a lot. And I'm sorry to say, even Deadpool, Cable's not in this as well as not. Briefly enough, this is more of a Bob issue. Yeah, Bob. He seems to be the main focal point in this whole thing. Surprisingly enough, it should have been, I don't know why they didn't, how it is. I mean, when did Bob get the girl? Bob had a girlfriend. Bob's got a girlfriend. He's getting laid in this one. He's getting the girl. He seems to be the one be more focused on. So, Deadpool's out of his... Well, Deadpool's making more funny jokes and stuff. Also, I'm a little confused with all the Max issues lately. This is the second time that they've brought in a celebrity into the book. I mean, what was it? Deadpool Max number 2, I believe. They had Danny DeVito. This one had Brad Pitt. What's up with that? What's up with all the celebrity drawings of character in the book? They're in there. Yeah, sure enough, I get it. You know, it's funny, but I don't... It's starting to get confusing now. On top of that, you know... I'm a little surprised that Bob got the spotlight in this book. I expected something really big going on with Cable and Deadpool. They had a very brief thing, mostly enough. And see, I don't know if they're trying to drop the hint. Lately, people have been talking. I've read watched a few blog videos. I've read a few forums. Most of the people talking about when the Deadpool movie finally gets made, they want to think about probably introducing Cable into it as well. Now, that brings up a lot of questions. Who would play the better Cable? A lot of people have been picking, somewhat older gentlemen, but other people want kind of older gentlemen. I picked out a few. I picked Gerard Butler for some reason. I can't remember why. I guess basically, I don't know. He kind of... Because, the way it is, Cable is an older character. I mean, he's pretty old. I say much older than anything, even though he's technically from the future as well. He is kind of an old character. But a lot of people suggested that he be played by a really older gentleman. Now, one person, I can't remember where it was. What was it? I think it was on Nate's blog review of, he was talking with Oscar NJ and some of the other guys affiliated with the Deadpool Corps. Basically, he was talking with them and saying that, oh God, what's that guy's name? Okay, remember the movie James Cameron's Avatar? Remember when the general guy or the colonel who was in charge of the military force on Pangea, he was the dude was like friggin' ripped. I mean, he was like really ripped. I mean, ripped or even more ripped than I am. I mean, I'm slightly muscular, but not as ripped as he is. But then, he was, he had the scars, and I think that's pretty much why people think. And the thing is, if you look at the book, he kind of looks similar to the way that guy did in Avatar. So, with the scars and everything, I guess maybe people, I don't know, maybe the artistry or the writers thought, for a little hint out there. So I guess you know what I mean. If you watched Avatar recently, it's been pretty much blasting on cable channels. But I guess basically what I'm saying is I think they're throwing a hint out there. Like I said, this is more of a Bob issue. I got off track with that. But like I said, this is more of a Bob issue. It's dealing with finding out that Bob is kind of under control by the organization that's telling him what to do, and he feels that he has control over Deadpool. So it's more of like a puppet controlling a puppet sort of thing. And Cable's trying to say, well, I'm from the future, and Cable, this is the wrong way. You're being held under control. Because he tries to convince Deadpool at first that what he's doing is wrong. Since lately in the few issues, Deadpool has been basically saying that he's been trying to destroy Hydra. Even though there's technically no showing of Hydra, but, Bob... I think that we know the hint is if Bob is technically his caretaker, then we know what organization he's working for. Hopefully the next issue should be kind of fun. I like the cover on it. But we'll see how that goes for next issue. I think that's pretty much it for the night. I don't know what really much more I can say. But like I said, we'll see what the next week holds out for us. I think something big's happening. And I hope to get a little bit more detailed with that, maybe. And we'll see how things go. All right? Bye.